Gruul Prowess this time. Should be without the reverb we had last week. So, obviously this is the same list as last week, so we haven't had time to make adjustments. Now there are certain cards to try on my list, like, you know, the Blood Rush cards, etc. One thing I've really noticed about Prowess and Burn kind of in the current meta is the lack of, like, disruption really kind of becomes a problem when speed's no longer sufficient to deal with whatever your opponent has going on. For instance, you know, some of the burn decks have been going to Mardu variants with Thoughtseize, and spoiler alert for the burn channel this week. Thoughtseize was a mixed bag, but might solve some of the problems that these decks have in the current meta. I think Burn and Prowess's problem is a couple-fold. Is like cards like Blood Moon just aren't fast enough in the current meta a lot of times for the matchups you really want it in. And, you know, you're no longer goldfishing faster than most of the decks in the format. You know, even the mid-range decks of the format, you know, like Boros Energy and Dimir Frogtide, you know, by turn 4, they can kill you sometimes. So, when the mid-range decks are killing as fast as the aggro decks, and they have better long-game tools, puts the aggro decks in a very difficult place. Obviously, we're running back the combo version we were working on last week. Didn't have the best start, obviously, to the league last week, but, you know, we played some interesting games, had a mistake or two, and this hand is fine. We'll keep it. We get to go turn 1 DRC, turn 2 Slick Shot, go. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, of course. Yep. I presume they have to take DRC here. Yeah. Makes the most sense. Played Force of Will before, but so I can only assume we're up against some type of. All right, sure. Well, let's assume we're up against Necro Dominance of some kind. Where are the Necro Dominance decks running? Dominance. And they've had no finishes since 2023, so I think we'll just bring in the 2 copies of Snakeskin Veil to D-Rev and go down the lava, 2 of the lava darts, and 2 bolts maybe. Leaving 1 lava dart against basically Bowmasters. This hand is a trap. It's a trap. This hand is dangerous, but I do think we risk it. Put back maybe a copy of Blossoming Defense here. on Thoughtseize is our only threat. Nope, Citrus Supplier. Okay, so we're actually up against looks to be whatchamacallit combo. So well played by our opponent to kind of disguise what they were. Warren Trader combo or whatever it is. Alright, so we hope to get a little bit lucky here. They have it, they're going to blow us out anyway, so it is what it is. Surprised our opponent didn't block there, but this thing have life gain or something? Oop, just a 3/1. Creature. Pretty sure that's all 4 card types, right? And turn 3 for the win. Thank you for burn content. You're welcome, Stony. Think about the new build using the new ley line, putting some pieces. So Luis, I can't speak to the modern variant because I don't have ley lines right now, and I haven't tested the deck much in Pioneer or Explorer, so I don't have a feel for playing with it. Playing against it in Pioneer, I think it has potential, but I really hesitate to build any deck around any deck that leyline is a big feature of the deck. I think it has possibilities, but we will have to test it, honestly, is the TLDR. Unfortunately, now that I am playing mainly my own cards instead of using mana traders, I'm a little bit slower to get cards than I like sometimes, unfortunately. But I do think it has potential. I think finding the right balance is difficult. And it looks like we're up against Zoo. So, at least I'm assuming this is Zoo. Into Scion or Territorial Kavu? Scion. You're welcome, Stony and Luis. I'll have to test, but I do think it has some potential to be really broken. The problem isn't the combo aspect really for the Prowess decks. The problem is your creatures staying alive. So it might increase your explosive draws, but that's and gains. I think we leave that on top. Not a huge fan of the play I'm about to make. But so I'm usually more of a Quintorius player and explorer, but I cannot deny the deck's results. So I think the deck really has potential. So Blood Moon is absolute trash against Zoo. So it should be good against Zoo, but the problem you run into is if they have a Leyline of the Guild Pact, it is absolute garbage. Our burn spells here are mostly completely trash because most of the creatures are just too big. So I think I'm just going to, on the draw, bring in these 5. And then on the play, we might revisit bringing it back in Blood Moon. No. Leyline of Residence, I completely understand. I'm talking about Leyline of the Guild Pact against the Zoo deck we're playing. There's lithium deposits on the flood zone also. Another hurricane on the way. What's up, O'Doyle? And hey, bro, how you doing? And I think we keep this hand, but it's not particularly good. Leyline of Resonance. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have Cardbot available, but Google. And what's the name of this stupid site? Scryfall. Leyline of Resonance. I mean, Leyline is a busted card. Well, this comes down to how many removal spells does my opponent have? Since I don't really have any protection spells, unfortunately, this hand. Leyline Binding. Oop. I just linked Scryfall in chat. The Scryfall link to that particular card. Opponent shocks it up, shocks it in. Well, that kind of punished us. When you don't play around your opponent having anti-Boros energy tech. I don't think it's too broken in Pioneer. I mean, it's powerful, but it's not overly dominant. Sure. Okay. Where did the Storm player hurt you, opponent? I'll leave that on top. Oh. Giganta to hand. I have a feeling if our opponent had a removal, nope, they had a removal spell. Yay! Getting blown out is so much fun. Thought they had Leyline Binding. Now I think we lose because their Jiggy's gonna have haste. And because they're going to hit us for 5, then hit us for 5. I mean, we could try to block, but I think we revisit this on the draw. Still not a huge fan of any of the whatchamacallit nonsense. I think we trim a scale up and 2 assault strobes if they're going to go that route. They had High Noon out, so I'd already played my spell for the turn, so we couldn't interact with it. It's basically rule of law. Hey, it looks like a great Yu-Gi-Oh hand. This hand is alright. Put back one of our Blossoming Defenses. I'm going to use their removal main phase. Looks like they are. Let's go ahead and plot this. Obviously, they kind of get us if they have High Noon here, but I mean, if they want to kill it now, they can kill it. That's fine. The problem is, like, Bolt plus Stub would have gotten us there if we would have tried to go all in. And obviously we know our opponent has Pyroclasm, so I don't want to play more than one creature into things. So sure. Another land would be great. Alright, is that lethal? I think so. Really want our opponent to go after this with a Leyline Binding. Unfortunate for our opponent. It is really nice to play a deck that just doesn't care about most of what Zoo's doing in terms of like big dumb creatures and such. It's one of the annoying things about Burn sometimes is you run into Zoo and be like, derpa derpa, if my opponent has their Splinter Twin, we lose. Whereas this deck just goes, crunch. Oh, what was that? Oh, it was a dragon. Oh well. Hey, we got a no-lander. Roll again. This hand isn't great, but we'll keep it. Put back one of the lands. Lead on Soulscar into... Does any of these lands particularly matter? Don't think so. Saga, maybe? Alright, well. I think we still lead on Soulscar. So I could lead on DRC here, but if our opponent happens to be playing Bowmaster, then they just kind of get a free, oops, I kill your thing. And I really don't want to give blue-black layers who are mulliganing to 5 extra value if I can. Okay. Okay. Some type of... Yeah, that's kind of a problem. So 5/5 Manifest Dread. And it's certainly annoying. We'll just play out all of our creatures and pass the turn. And a foul, that is a flyer. Fast bullcrap. Problem becomes... Alright. Put that to the graveyard. Blossoming Defense doesn't really help our cause much. So we know at least one Vengevine's coming back next turn. This would be... I don't know that we can trigger lethal here. So scale up this to 6. 8. Could deal potentially 16 if we get a little bit lucky. I don't think a long game is going to favor us, so I think I gotta try to go for broke here. Which I already knew the card on top, so I don't even know what I mean by getting lucky. It's only 14 damage, unfortunately. So, what all am I attacking with? 5, 9. I think I can only attack with DRC is the problem. Okay, draw a card. Got a fetch land, which is not ideal. So if our opponent makes the most obvious play, it's Safekeeper, Safekeeper, Get Back, Vengevine. Yep. I think they have to leave back Oculus, though, so we have a chance. So that leaves us with 2, 4, 8. I don't think we block any of these because I don't think any of it really matters. I only have 2 bolts in my deck. So start by doing that. That's definitely not going to cut it. Alright. It's not going to cut it either. We already used commercial districts, so we gotta get lucky here. No dice. And no graveyard hate. So I don't know that our post board really improves all that much. Blood Moon seems okay. Run afoul is fine. Let's see here. Hedron Crab. Crabvine. Of course, Dak Faden is partially responsible for this nonsense. Shocker. Flare of Malices, can't really beat that. This looks like a bit of a nightmare matchup, honestly. But Flare of Denial, Creeping Chill. You know, without actual hard graveyard hate. Merfolk Scavenger. Definitely want the bolts out of our deck. Lava Dart's okay in small numbers. And maybe shit with Mutagenic Growth. Alright, yes, I'd like to play first. Don't think this hand's quite good enough. We have no creatures, so we're going to 5. This hand is absolutely terrible. Guess we keep it since we have like some of what we really want. But really need an untap land. Monstrous Rage can go to the graveyard. Turn 1 nothing. Okay, new plan. Keeping a land. Oh, just otherworldly gaze, sure. Let's just hope and pray they don't have Frog on too. Alright. So 1 swamp, 1 island. Supplier. Sure, basic swamp. I mean, they can get basic island, but most of their deck doesn't really. Can you say cheese? Get a blood gas, that's kind of annoying. Definitely don't want to land. I am definitely not attacking with this DRC. Opponent should have fetched and gotten their swamp, but, you know. And they also kind of goofed by playing their land pre-combat here. Although they could get the Oculus, and if they have the Oculus, I guess the game's over. Not much we can do about that, unfortunately. Okay, other roll a gaze, sure. You only put one card in the graveyard. That's terrifying. Why? Alright, sure. I have the all creature draw. Yay. Yes.
I got to see a repeat of a play that the Broncos did, and apparently they took it from the other team's touchdown area all the way back and got a touchdown.
Nice.
I know. That was when they were way behind.
Okay, uncastable spell. Okay. It just takes it. You have a land? Okay, well that should pretty much do it here. I think I have to leave back where's the Flare Malice, I'm guessing. Yep, shocker. Drawing Otherworld Gaze. So the only reason that happened is because my opponent had Flare Malice. So if I would have attacked with these, they couldn't have actually flared a Malice or they would have been dead. So good to know. And we got a little lucky there. Why did I leave my Tormod scripts in the graveyard? Or in my sideboard? Probably... Engine the Gross are fine. One copy of Scale Up could probably come out. I think Lava Darts are okay against their deck. They're not great, but they're okay. Magenic Growth in. Try it like that. Okay. Sand just does nothing. So mulligan. I think we have to try to keep this hand. Back a Blood Moon. What? You know, I missed a point of damage, but let's not get too cute here. Okay. Just got cute. Should have played this main phase, gotten the point of damage in. I don't care if they get a blood gas back. I really don't. Yeah, blood gas is fine. I don't care about that per se. Like, obviously it turns on Flare of Malice, and if they have Frog here, yeah, we're just kind of SOL. Alright, well, I mean... it's going to plot that and pass. Mm-hmm. Sure. Probably should have played your Frog first. those frog things. Okay. Missed the point of damage, but I did want to be able to play around things to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. Gets to manifest dread. Now all their shite has flying. Maybe for some reason, if they decide not to block, we have a chance here, but I don't see. Alright, so they have Flare Malice. We literally can't beat anything, so I mean we just go for it. I don't even think the damage is enough, but we're gonna be short by a couple damage. We tried. And concede. Alright, so looking at this overall, did finish 2-3. I mean, we got to kind of steamroll Zoo, and I even forget what the first match was, if I'm being completely honest. Steamroll Zoo and Mono Black Warren Traders, it looks like. Or no, Green Black Warren Trader combo. This just kind of with this in Burn, honestly, you kind of have to pick your spots with when you're going all in and try to kill your opponent. You have to try to balance your deck as well as you can for the meta, and just understand that you can probably beat any deck in any given match. I don't think there's like no impossible matchups for Prowess and Burn. I just don't think either one is particularly well positioned. Now, there was a Mardu build of Burn that's given me some hope, and then the Mardu Prowess deck, or not the Rakdos Prowess deck and Pioneer. Some variant of that could possibly get ported into Modern. So there are still pathways to be explored to see if the deck can at least go up a tier of whatever it is, which is basically not unplayable, but F&M level, or low level challenge level, as opposed to showcase challenges, RCQs, that kind of stuff. It feels like there's got to be a combination of tools, disruption, combo potential with the Prowess builds, and somewhere in the 4 color combinations with red, there's got to be a right mix of this deck can do something. The comboing out, killing your opponent out of nowhere, that's great. I think that's probably the better approach right now, but I really want to figure out some of the unfair matchups, because Blood Moon, it served us well against specifically that self-mill Frogvine deck, that game too. But 3 mana is a lot in Modern right now. We're almost getting to the point where Blood Moon and Back to Basics were in Legacy, where against a lot of the decks you want it's almost too late, especially on the draw. Whether it's Eldrazi or, Frogtide or, a lot of the decks, sometimes turn 3 is just too late to impact the game because your opponent's already gotten, an abhorrent, what is the name of the stupid card? A Psychic Frog on the table, or an abhorrent, Oculus, or a Murktide Region, or a Sign of Draco, or a Territorial Kavu, and you're just like, my Blood Moon did nothing. My opponent's ahead on the board, and I can't kill their big creature. I think the Rakdos might be the best axis of attack, because Thoughtseize disrupts a lot of the combo and decks that we want to slow down by a turn, and Fatal Push might be the best removal spell for a lot of the things we need to kill. So Jund Prowess might be a thing. Rakdos Prowess. A lot of potential there. I don't think the red removal is particularly good, except against energy. And I don't know that the green combo cards are much better than, say, Thoughtseize clearing the way, or, you could run potentially something like Apostle's Blessing. I'm not sure. But I have higher confidence in Prowess and Burn this weekend than I've had on it in probably the last month and a half, 2 months since MH3's meta kind of settled down. So there's hope on the horizon, whether it's false hope of a false dawn, or maybe we're starting to turn the corner a little bit and starting to see where this deck might progress. Kind of hard to say right now. So, and for some reason, I'm not sure if I'm just not getting messages or nobody's chatting. I mean, there's 11 people in chat on YouTube and 2 or 3 over on Twitch, and I'm not seeing anything. So people are sending me messages. I do apologize, but I'm not literally getting anything. So, yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you for next week's stream. As always, thanks for everybody for hanging out, and see you for next week's stream. See ya.